want to talk to the media. They didn't want to talk to me. Everybody was scared, not knowing what was going to happen to them. When you're overrun by Halliburton trucks and fracking trucks and gas rigs, and all of a sudden your water turns black, or your animals start dying and they don't want to drink it, or your kids get sick, or you can light it on fire, and there's no media attention around here. There's nothing happening around here. To actually speak out and say something is wrong was a terrifying thing to do, and something that was incredibly brave, right? Yes. Incredibly brave. I remember how it took several times coming back and say, really, I'm just from like 50 miles away. I don't really, oh, there goes the mic. Mike! I'm really good at blowing out, I'm good at blowing out mics. Ask Matt, he's right there. But what I want to say, though, is that there is no scientific reason why this water was pulled. There is nothing but politics going on here. This is a community on life support. In Pennsylvania, we have more private water wells than anywhere in the United States. 2.3 million people live off of water wells in Pennsylvania. I live off of one of them. When you've contaminated that water in the ground, you've taken away something very fundamental about Pennsylvania. And when you say that we're going to now remove the replacement water, the water buffaloes. We're taking the water out of the water buffaloes, the fastest growing species in the state. Right? And we're going to leave these people literally out to dry. You have betrayed our democracy. And that's why right now I'm calling for two things. One, Tom Corbett should be investigated by the Inspector General of Pennsylvania. In Fayette County, in Greene County, in Tioga County, in Susquehanna County, and in Bradford County, they're not going to get away with this. I have a letter with me from Lance Simmons, the special investigator from Ed Rendell, who came to Dimock and said these people need a water line. And John Hanger was in the church up the road, and he said these people need a water line, and we're going to pay for it, and we're going to sue Cabot to pay for it. And they were setting a precedent. They were setting a precedent in PA that says if you contaminate people's water, you have to pay for it. You have to restore that. It's the Pennsylvania Constitution. And the Corbett administration came in and they canceled it. The Corbett administration came in and they killed it. And they tell Craig Sautner, if you call the DEP one more time, we're going to arrest you. That is unconstitutional, and that is a human rights violation. Yes. And I have one brief story to share with you because I want to take up all this time. But I went to the PA DEP in Williamsport to do a file review the same week that Tom Corbett said that they were going to pull the water here. I wanted to find out what was in the files, what was in the science. Tell me why you pulled the water. I called them and they said they laid out the Dimock files on the table. There were 3 files. You got 2008 next to 2010, next to well records, next to emails, next to inspection reports, all out of order, no alphabetizing, nothing. I said, what is this? This is a mess. Where's everything else? There's no evidence here. There's one person working in the office. I happened to be there with a reporter that said, oh, you're looking at Dimock? Oh, well, check over there by the recycling bin. There's a whole bunch of boxes over there. I think they're Dimock. I found 7 boxes of files hiding over there by the recycling bin. Nobody in the office knew they were there. If I wanted to take a file out, I could have taken a file out. If I wanted to put a file in, I could have put a file in. It's total incompetence. And that is why they don't want the EPA in here. And the second thing that I'm asking is that EPA, please, EPA's policy is where the states are not enforcing, you will come in and enforce for the citizens of the United States of America.
Yes. Yes.
And Lisa Jackson, when we asked Lisa Jackson for a groundwater study, she did a groundwater study. When we asked her for harsher rules on air, she did that. When we asked her to look at wastewater, she did that. When we're asking her, Lisa Jackson, a person who's been working extremely hard on this issue, under a lot of fire from a lot of people, to please listen to us here today, come in, bring these people water, and do a thorough investigation, because our State Department of Environmental Protection is on the take.
That's right.
Thank you so much, everyone. And by the way, David Braun is telling me that the water truck is just pulled up behind us. Is that the water truck? Is that it? Thank you, everybody, and thank you guys. And I love you guys. And
We love you back.
I've known you for 3 years, and I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
That was awesome. I got him.
Okay, there's a red Chevy that's just pulled up that we need to have moved so that we can have the water truck bring the pipe into the bumping line. Next up is Victoria Schweitzer. She is a very outspoken resident of Carter Road, and she has been a pioneer.